Thank you very much for joining us today. With me is my co-host, Kate Bialo.
Good evening, Marian.
What's really exciting, we have a celebrity guest.
Oh, my.
Well, you are a celebrity in the village of Larchmont,
Wow,
Kate Bialo.
Thank you. Thank you.
You originated, you were the creative force for designing a way to get furniture to people in need, and then you actually put it into action in Furniture Share House. And it's been 10 years, and how much furniture have you given away?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me on the show tonight. I know that you talk about Furniture Share House a lot, all the time. You're always
love it.
letting the public know about what's going on with us, and we appreciate that a lot. It's actually been 12 years, believe it or not.
Wow.
We started in 2007, so we're in our 12th year of operations. And we help about 450 families a year. So we provide enough furniture for them to fill an empty apartment. These are families who are moving out of homeless shelters or domestic violence situations, or are living in circumstances where their apartments are empty and they can't afford furniture. So we are able to step in and give them a couple of beds, sofa, armchairs, coffee table, end tables, table and chairs to eat, a few extra pieces, a rug,
lamps,
some lamps,
artwork.
A mirror. Right, everything they need to
TV.
turn. Yep, everything they need to turn their empty apartment into a comfortable and dignified and cozy home.
For free.
Yes.
Good point.
For free. Yes, that is the important point about all of this. These are families who have no money left over after they pay their rent and food and medication and that sort of thing, and so it's kind of what we talk about as a hidden need. You know, everybody talks about affordable housing, but once you finally get that apartment, you're sleeping on the floor, your possessions are stored in garbage bags or boxes, and it's not a way to start rebuilding your life. So that's where we can step in, and we're happy to do it.
Well, Ken, remember when you brought some pictures from the very beginning, and you had, was it 2007 when there was the flood? And Kate had pictures of you, Ken had pictures of you in the water around the...
So at the dinner? Yes, on the big screen.
Right.
Well, no, we also did it here, I think.
I think we did do it.
Yes.
Yeah, we did a couple here also. So.
Yeah, we actually got our start down at Harbor Island right after those big floods in 2007. And we had some tents, we had a couple of trailers, we had our truck driving around and picking up donations because everybody was very eager to help. And so in the space of 2 weeks, we were able to help 65 families, most of them right in that section of Mamaroneck that was hit so badly over by Harbor Island. And that was kind of where we got our start, and then we moved back up to our warehouse at the Westchester County Airport, and we've been helping families ever since then.
Well, and there have been milestones. When was it that you got your truck? That was a big thing, to have your own truck.
That was 5 years ago, so that would have been, what, 2002 maybe?
No.
No, not 2002, 2012. How about that?
No.
Okay,
2014.
Well, I don't remember when it was, but it was about 5 years ago. And yes, we were very fortunate to get a $100,000 grant from this group called Impact 100. And that really sort of was terrific for us because we got a bigger truck. We have, you know, our publicity on the side of the truck. And
I took pictures. Dave came and he picked up a mattress from my
did he?
garage.
Good. He did that. Great.
And I have a picture of the truck because I know how much meant to you to finally have a truck.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you for the mattress. It won't last the week. I'm sure it'll be gone by, we're open 2 mornings a week, starting tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday morning, and I am sure that your mattress will be in a new home by the end of the week. So thank you very much.
Well, that's the point.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
I'm very glad for that.
Yep.
So, would you like to
well,
do
it's
this?
spring.
Do you want to talk about...
Yeah, spring is a great time for Furniture Share House. First of all, because we have no heat in our warehouse. So when the weather starts to warm up, all of our hardy and stalwart volunteers are thrilled to have things finally warm up, and we can shed our long underwear and our heavy coats. And also spring is a time for spring cleaning. So people start thinking about that furniture that they've had in their garage or in their basement all this time that they keep meaning to do something about. And that is exactly why we have our furniture drives in the spring. And so our first furniture drive of the season is going to be at Mamaroneck High School on Saturday, April 24th. We do have a little sign down here if you want to pan in on that. So this is exciting because it's actually the 10th annual furniture drive at Mamaroneck High School. We have been doing this for 10 years at the high school. We have a Furniture Share House Club at the high school. And
that's incredible.
so they do the publicity, they recruit the volunteers, and they do the publicity for the drive, and then they staff the drive. So what will happen is on Saturday morning, April 27th, our truck will come to the Post Road parking lot of the high school, and we're open from 9 to 1, and it's rain or shine, hopefully shine. And people can bring their items to the parking lot, and then we will put them on the truck, and then by the end of the day, we have a truck full of stuff that we have managed to collect in one spot, which we'll take back to the warehouse. But we do want to ask people to please check our donation guidelines on our website, because we're only able to take good condition furniture, moderately sized for the small apartments that the families live in. And we do have a list of things we can take on the website, which is FurnitureSharehouse.org, as I'm sure everybody knows by now. And just check that and make sure that the item that a person has to donate is something that we can accept, and then just bring it on down there to the parking lot, and we'll be happy to take it off your hands and make sure it gets to a new home.
Well, because it needs to be in quite good shape.
It does.
Because you're helping someone create a house, and you don't want them to feel like it's sort of a second-rate house. It
Absolutely.
should be a
So I
first-rate
always
house.
say to people, when somebody says, I say, well, what kind of condition is it in? And they'll say, well, it's good enough for somebody that doesn't have anything, which is exactly the wrong approach to the whole thing. And when they say that, I know that that's something that belongs at the curb and not something that belongs in somebody's apartment. So I always say it needs to be something that you would be proud to deliver yourself personally to the family, not something that you would leave on the porch and knock on the door and run away. So, because when our clients have been through very tough times, and so when they walk into the warehouse, they're not sure of what they're going to be getting or exactly how the whole thing is going to work. And we want them, when they walk in, from the moment that they walk in, we want them to see very nice furniture that they will be able to choose from, not crummy things that somebody's
and
thrown
that they're
away.
respected and valued.
Yes, absolutely. That's one of the things that we're that's very important to us, is to provide the clients with a dignified and pleasant and friendly experience. And so the volunteers, they're assigned a volunteer, and we call them personal shoppers, to walk around with them and walk around the inventory. Everybody has their own colored tape, and when a client sees something that they want, we put their colored tape on there with their name. And then by the time they finish in an hour, as I said, they've managed to collect enough furniture to fill an apartment and create a comfortable home for themselves and their kids.
That must be amazing to go from, nothing to a whole apartment full of furniture.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And we get thank you notes from our clients all the time, just expressing in ways that we can't possibly express what it means to them to be able to get the furniture. And they'll say, my son is 4 years old, he's never had a dresser, or I've been sleeping on the floor for the last 6 months. So just really things that we take for granted are things that our families appreciate so much when they are able to get them.
I think you sent around some thank you notes, or somehow, I think we were able to read some, because somehow we got access.
I didn't bring any with me tonight, but I should have.
Are they on the website?
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
we get them regularly, so they're inspiring, to say the least. Anyway, so Furniture Drive, Saturday, April 27th. Everybody please come and bring your furniture. Ken has something he wants to say about the Furniture Share House Club.
The president of the Furniture Share House Club at the high school,
4 years ago.
I don't know,
4 and 5 years ago.
He's a junior now. He's a junior. So 3-4 years ago, was a very large person who I thought was a football player, but it turned out he was a wrestler. He might have been a football player also, but his primary interest was wrestling. He was awarded a scholarship at the University of Maryland, full ride for 4 years, to be a wrestler on their team. And in the local newspaper here, which I continually disregard because of its low quality, on March 21st...
You disregard the New York Times, too.
Because of its low quality.
Yes.
On March 21st, had a picture on the front page of the sports section of this young man, Yusuf Hamida, who was wrestling in the NCAAs. I don't know if you can get a picture of this, Austin. It's wrestling, or it is up there. Woohoo! Oh, this way, Ken. Okay, that way. Yeah. Are you going to come up over here? Let's see.
There.
Okay, there it is.
Oh, that's nice.
There it is. He was seated number 2 in the 250-something pound weight class at the NCAAs.
He's gotten even bigger.
Yeah, he's really gotten huge. And it's just, if I just opened the newspaper and there it was, and I said, holy smoke, I know that guy. And it's a long way to go from a Marian High School wrestling team to getting a 4-year scholarship at the University of Maryland. And it's a long way to go from being a furniture sharehouse club president
Yes.
to being seated second in the NCAA tournament.
Well, I'm sure it has a great deal to do with his success. And Yusef was a great president. He was president for 2 years, followed by Kate Bialo, who was president of the club for 2 years. And now Sophie Johansson is, and I think Frankie Garces are co-chairs of the club for the last 2 years. And Albert Paez, who is a social studies teacher at the high school, is our faculty advisor. So it's wonderful to have this dedicated group of people at the high school who managed to keep this tradition going year after year. So we're excited.
And how surprising,
congrats to UC.
Yes, just congratulations. Wow. That's a long way to go.
Well, I know we have some show and tell.
Right. Well, I mean, I've mentioned that spring is a great and busy time for Furniture Share House. The next thing coming up for us that's very important to us is Mother's Day.
Yes.
And so we run our Mother's Day fundraising campaign every year, and the last couple of years we have dedicated it to what we call our Beds for Kids program. So the thing we never ever have enough of for our families is beds. You know, you'll have a family of 5 moving out of a homeless shelter, they need 5 beds. Well, we never have enough beds. Now we're talking, remember, about used beds. We accept donations of good condition, used beds, and that's what we give out to our families. And
plus new ones.
Well, that's part of the Beds for Kids campaign. So typically what we normally give out to our families are the used beds that we collect from the community, and they're always good condition. We check them over. And, you know, if you are sleeping on the floor, would you rather sleep on the floor or would you rather have a good condition used bed? I mean, obviously, getting the beds is very important to the families. But we never have enough of them, and of course the saddest thing is when you have children who are sleeping on the floor. So we have, for the last couple of years, dedicated our Mother's Day campaign to a Beds for Kids program. So any donations that people make to us for Mother's Day,
These are cash donations.
Yes, cash donations. We then dedicate to purchasing new beds for kids, and we go through the families who come to us, and the stories that are the ones that are the most moving are the ones where we will select the family to receive some of the beds. So we may buy new twin beds for kids. One of the things we've done the last year is we've been purchasing bunk beds, because that's kind of 2 for 1. We can actually get a very good price on a bunk bed set that's almost the same price as 2 twin beds. And then toddler beds. We have a lot of families who have toddlers, 1, 2, 3 years of age, and if we don't have a twin bed for them, the next best thing is to have a toddler bed.
Right.
I mean, it may not last them for that long, but certainly for the time being, it gets them up off the floor. It gives them their own bed to sleep in instead of sleeping with their parents or sleeping with a sibling or sleeping on the floor. So last year's
master climbing out of it.
Yes, exactly. So last year's Mother's Day campaign, we were very fortunate to have a donor who offered to match any donations that we got for our Mother's Day campaign. And so that actually spurred people to donate, which was wonderful. And we ended up with a $10,000 pool of money in order to be able to purchase beds over the last years for our families, which we have done. Spent all that money, so now we're looking forward to this year's Mother's Day campaign to fill those coffers up again. So I would encourage everybody to please go to our website, FurnitureSharehouse.org, in another week or so, and you'll be able to make donations to that fund.
You can do it you can do it electronically, right? With
yes.
credit cards or pay something or other, or whatever those things are.
Yeah. But one of the things that came out of the Beds for Kids campaign last year was that we were contacted by a group of women called the Women and Men, I'm sure, Village Squares Quilters, and this is a group of...
Oh, this just happened?
No, this is, they partnered with us before, but they got very excited when they saw the Beds for Kids and the toddler bed program last year. And so they have made yet another batch of beds. They made another batch of quilts for our Mother's Day beds during this past year, and they will be gearing up to make some more. So they're called Village Square Quilters, and they make absolutely the most exquisite quilts. And Lisa is going to show us some of these.
Lisa Curley, who is
Lisa, who is also
herself.
a quilter and is very impressed with the work that's been done. So what we do is when we give out the beds, we also allow the mothers to select a quilt from the collection of quilts that have been given to us by the Village Squares Quilters. And it's just, a
free,
wonderful...
Right?
It's, of course, free. It's just a wonderful moment because, they've received all the furniture. They know they're getting a new bed for their child. And then we add to it and say, and by the way, we have a selection of quilts for you to choose, one for your child's bed. And it's very emotional. It's so much fun for us to be able to offer it to them. They get to look through and pick the one that they want, and they always find one that just somehow speaks to them and is exactly the one that they know their child will like. So this is just an example of some of the beautiful. This is a toddler-sized quilt, toddler bed-sized quilt, with this beautiful color in the background. And
lovely stitching.
Yeah.
Let me turn it around for you.
Yeah. This is a fun one, a pillowcase to put it all in, and owls. So a lot of these are children themed. That's a pretty one. You have to see the owls in the back. Oh, there they are. So nighttime, sleepy time owls. Here in the back here.
Oh, that looks just like a children's book.
Yep, exactly, doesn't it?
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I can't imagine how many hours these quilts take. Lisa, you can tell us how many hours one of these quilts would take to make.
You could probably do one of these in a couple of days if you wanted to.
A couple of years.
All day?
A couple of years would be more like it.
These are probably machine pieced. It's an exquisite work.
Yeah, yeah, just beautiful.
Oh, and so much is just, but the designs are by hand, aren't they? I mean, not by hand. They are guiding the machine.
Yes,
This
right.
is free motion quilting.
Yes, which is very
You're
creative.
kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
What
So
does
that's
free
good.
motion quilting mean?
Well, it means basically that you're not going in a straight line. You can do curves.
You have a machine that you hold in your
They
hand
put it on there
without
and
a
they
guide?
literally just move it around like that and
Oh, I
make
see.
swirls
Okay.
and do the
Yeah.
whole thing, and it's
Got it.
just
You
astonishing.
can use a domestic sewing machine for that. You
Yes.
don't have to
Yep.
have special equipment.
Yep.
Some people do.
So here's another fun one, very colorful kitty one. Yep.
Oh, wow.
So beautiful.
It's a little
Isn't that fun?
kid,
So colorful.
Is that Pinocchio?
No, it's something. I don't know who it is, but
Generic small child.
this is my personal favorite of this batch. Look at the colors on this. I just love this one. Oh, and this is great because the people who make the quilts have their own little label that they put on, and they write their name, and they wrote when it was done. They said, may this quilt bring you comfort, and then the Village Squares Quilters.
Oh, isn't that nice?
So, as I said, we are very fortunate to be a beneficiary of the work of the Village Squares
look
Quilters,
at
but they also
this.
do a lot of other community work. They make quilts for the children at the children's hospitals. They make quilts for residents of nursing homes, hospices, and they actually teach a quilting course at the Bedford Hills Women's Correctional Facility.
Really?
So they're really very involved in their outreach to the community
all sorts of animals
and find
around
lots of places to give their quilts to. And as I said, we feel very fortunate to be.
Now, when they give
recipient.
these away, do the actual Village Square quilters people come and sit at a table and
We have done that before. We did it last year. We had them come in the spring. We set up a table, and the clients actually came and met the ladies and talked to them, and were able to select a quilt. And we're doing that again on May 15th. So
which is what? That was the reaction amongst the people at Village Square
it's
Quilters
just
was
tremendous. I mean,
phenomenal.
so the ladies were thrilled because now they get to actually meet the clients and talk to them
my.
about what's involved and get to see their reaction. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. Look at this fun checkity in the back.
Look at wow.
I know this. See all this swirl. You probably can't see it on the camera, but if the stitching is just swirls everywhere, and it just. So the volunteers, of course, always see these quilts and they say, "Oh, can I buy one, please? Can you give me money to Furniture Share House?" And the quilting ladies are absolutely adamant about that. No, they are made for the clients, for the kids, and that's where they go. And we make sure that that happens. I've got one more here, Lisa, to show. It's got this really beautiful
Lisa, how
pattern.
many quilts do you make in a year?
If I'm lucky, one or two lately. My paying gig kind of sucks up all my time.
Well, that's a
Isn't that
shame.
beautiful?
That's
Look at that.
ridiculous, Lisa.
I know, it's terrible.
And so the lady who brought these over today was telling me that this is a special pattern, these circles and the squares, and it's just
It looks like a castle wall pattern, but I could be wrong.
castle wall pattern. Well, she didn't mention that, but maybe.
And
maybe.
it's more complicated because the squares are on point.
Okay, there you go. See? Much more than I knew about it. And look at this beautiful color in the background.
Oh, that is lovely.
Yep. Thank you, Lisa, for modeling our quilts today.
You have one
Want
more
to show
there,
them
right?
the pillow?
You have the green one, the green and pink
Yeah,
one?
yeah, yeah. And this here's a little pillow.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this one is the one that has a beautiful background. Look at this. Look at this. So this is the front, which is fun. All of these muted colors that swirl around. But then look at this special fabric in the back. Completely different, right? So
Yes.
it's like 2 quilts in one.
Wow.
This would be a reversible quilt,
Yeah,
potentially.
exactly. It's beautiful. Anyway, so thank you to the Village Squares Quilters for picking us as one of the fortunate beneficiaries of all of their work. And if you're interested in joining them or learning how to quilt or quilting with them,
Thank you, Lisa.
it is villagesquaresquilters.com. And it's squares with an S, not Village Square like over here, but Village Squares Quilters. And they would be delighted to have you come down. They have a website. Go to their website and you can find out when they have their monthly meetings, when and where, and go down and join them because they're just
Do you
wonderful.
suppose you have to know what you're doing to join them?
No, I don't think you do. You
Oh.
can go and learn how to quilt, and or if you're just a beginning quilter, you know, they're happy to share their expertise and
Do they do this
materials
at
and-
meetings, or you take
They
you
do.
take it home and?
So they have a monthly
Good
meeting
Lord.
where they do it, and then
I
they
see.
also have different quilting bees in different people's houses, and you can go and do it there. So it's wonderful.
Well, you've come in contact and met so many wonderful people. I know George Latimer has been a huge fan of Furniture Share House and a huge
Yes.
supporter.
Fortunately, yes,
Also, Steve Otis
Okay.
yep,
has been a long
Yep,
time,
absolutely.
big time supporter,
yeah,
as well as retired people. Susie Offenheim was one as well.
yes, yep.
Tons.
And they always turn out to support us at our various events,
do.
including our gala last November.
Yes, I remember
So,
seeing them.
Yep,
So
they
that
were
was
there
nice.
as always.
And
Yeah.
then you have, every non-gala year, you have an art?
We do our gala every other year because it's just so much work.
Right.
And then in the past couple of years, in the off year, we've been doing another smaller fundraiser, and we did an art sale for those 2 off years. This year, I'm not sure if we're going to do an art sale or not. We may find something else to do. Got to mix it up, right? Got to.
Well, yeah, you've got to try
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the
So-
the art show and buying things was amazing,
Yeah.
and we beat you on a
Yeah, you
Fabrizio.
outdid him on that,
I
Charles
refuse to
Casino.
acknowledge that particular
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
I do remember going to the cashier and saying, "Look, just put it aside. I'll give you another $5." She said, "I'm
Well,
not
it wasn't
doing-"
enough.
Yeah, she said, "I'm not doing."
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the money I had. She said, "I'm not doing that."
Well, but just think, I mean, he's isn't he a world-renowned artist, pop artist?
He is,
And
absolutely. And he
you know,
donated
thought-
to, yeah. And we also had, a lot of just beautiful artwork that's donated to us by our regular donors, people who are downsizing, moving out, people whose parents have moved out of their apartments and they have a lot of furniture to donate. We sometimes get some really nice mid-century modern pieces of furniture, some fun art. So you never know what's going to come in the door. When
Well-
Dave pulls the truck up and starts unloading it, you just don't know what surprises are going to be in the truck.
Well, I remember from the art event that you seem to have quite a few students at Bright Country Days that took photographs, and we
Right.
also got some wonderful photographs.
Yes,
that
they've
they
also
took.
been a community partner of ours for several years. The photography students in the art department take their favorite prints, their favorite shots, and then have them printed and matted and put in frames, and then they come and deliver them to the warehouse. We have not yet gotten them to have a table as we do with the quilting ladies and actually be there when the clients come and talk about their pictures and help them select one, because it's hard for them to come on a Wednesday or Thursday morning.
Right.
But I am
'Cause they have
pushing
school.
again this year to see whether we can do that, because it's just special. We out on the loading dock on a beautiful day, put it all out there, and the kids will get to have the experience of actually meeting the clients, and it will be much more meaningful to them
Right.
to really see, instead of just delivering them and sticking them over in the art
And then they
department
could
and then
have
leaving.
pictures with the kids and put them on their resumes or their, their applications
absolutely,
to college.
Absolutely. And what we have done in the past is we have little postcards, and we've done this with the quilts as well. We give them to the clients and say, would you please just write on the back what this
Oh.
quilt means to you, or why did you pick this particular photograph to take home, and then mail it back to us, and then we can give them to the quilting ladies, we can give them to the students at Rye Country Day, so that they get a sense of, a connection with with the clients and
Wow.
feel as though they are, making a difference in their day-to-day life. So it's good.
Just think you put this all together.
Well, I started it, but it would not be here 12 years later were it not for all of the incredible volunteers that we have. So we are almost 100% volunteer. We have one part-time paid office person, and of course Dave is paid.
And
But we
who
have
goes with him? Is that a volunteer that goes with him?
no,
That's
he's
not
also
work.
paid.
Okay,
They're
good.
independent contractors. They are
Oh,
paid.
okay.
Nobody would do that work for free, believe me. But all of our warehouse volunteers who help with clients, who help move the furniture around in the warehouse, who do the behind-the-scenes work, we have dozens of those. And they are just incredibly dedicated. Many of them have literally been with us for almost the whole time we've been open. They come once a week. They maybe come twice a week, every week. Winter, summer,
Well,
they're
sometimes
there.
on Saturdays.
Right. The third Saturday, we should also mention that
Yes,
we
you
are
should.
open the third Saturday of every month from 9:30 to 11:30
For people to
for people
drop
to come
things
and
off?
drop things off
Okay.
on that Saturday. Yeah. So that's it gives people a weekend option. People who can't. We do accept drop-offs Wednesdays and Thursday mornings when we're there, but that's not particularly convenient for a lot of people. So this
Right.
gives them a Saturday option. And we also offer on that third Saturday, we call it our third Saturday of service. So if there are volunteer groups, if there's a Girl Scout troop or a sorority, a service sorority, or a church group that wants
Harvard
to...
Club of Westchester?
Yes, the Harvard alumni of Westchester were there for the March 3rd
really
Saturday. We often have groups of students from the local colleges, from Pace, from Mercy College.
Oh, isn't that nice? So it's a
And
real
they can come on
community
Saturday
event.
morning, and then we spend that 2 hours while we're accepting donations that are coming in, also just sort of generally tidying up the warehouse, tidying up the bonus area. There's just a lot of stuff that we don't get to on a Wednesday or Thursday morning because we're busy working with the clients.
Right.
So there's always stuff to do in terms of getting things straightened out and ready for the next week. So
Well, I mean, to attract all this energy, you had to have a really great idea.
well, it was a great idea. And the fact that we're still going strong after all of this time, I think proves that it was a great idea. But as I said, it's all because of our amazing volunteers. So,
Well,
and the
starting
wonderful
with
furniture
you.
donors and the wonderful financial
And your
donors.
counsel.
And
You get credit
our
for that.
grantors who
Hey,
who
I
give
put
us
up the ceiling in the office. I painted the wall. I moved the furniture. It's not just being a lawyer,
You're handy? Whoa.
Well, I guess so. I guess so.
Extremely so.
You put up a furniture, put up a ceiling. It's like this. A ceiling just like this.
Whoa, well, I know who to call.
You bet.
Absolutely.
But I do it for free for her. I don't know. I don't know that services are generally available for free. I don't know about that.
I'll have to work on that.
He's a super.
Well, thank you so much. This has been so exciting
Well,
to have
thank you again. I know
such
you
a
guys
great
talk about
guest.
Furniture Share House all the time and
Yes,
remind our community
and we
about
will
us. And so,
continue.
thank you, and don't forget the Furniture Drive, Saturday, April
Yes.
27th,
Where?
9 to 1 at Marian High School, Post Road parking lot, rain or shine. Check the donation guidelines first.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much to people on the other side of the cameras who
right.
make this happen. And happy spring.
Well, maybe we could close out with a wide shot of the sign. That would be great. Just as a reminder. There we are.
There we go.
All right. Thank
Terrific.
you.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.